Well, we've got news out of the Disney parks, and not the kind that we're used to. Somebody may have spilled the beans. And did Lucasfilm mean for this to happen? Let's talk about it. Out of thatparkplace.com, exclusive Disney executives reportedly ready to reset Star Wars and splinter the sequel trilogy. Now, we've talked about this on the Pro Show and Pro Channel, but the big deal in the parks is, if we scroll on down, right here from the YouTube channel Always Believe, part of what we're hearing is that Star Wars is going to use the quote-unquote world between worlds concept to reset the franchise and kind of throw away the sequel trilogy just a little bit without really admitting that they threw away the sequel trilogy. And I'm going to play this, Culture. It's amazing because part of where we're getting this comes from a cast member playing Ahsoka. We'll explain it all. Hang tight. Here we go.
Although it's weird because there's like not really any characters out.
Yeah.
There's no like First Order show.
No. We saw Ahsoka, but that's about it. She's the only one.
Ahsoka had some things to say.
Yeah.
She had some things to say to us.
Yeah.
Did you tell them what she said?
You can say it, because maybe you can say it better than I did.
Well, she didn't technically she told Alice, because Alice is her apprentice. A rift of some sort.
The world between worlds is shattering.
Worlds, and she knows about that. Yeah. And that they called for backup. Because somebody named Darth Vader is going to be coming around. So she's heard.
All right, good enough. Now, Culture, when people train to become a Disney face character, one of the things that happens in their training is they are given a huge list of possible questions. And Ron probably could tell you about this because he's done every job there is on the planet. But you're given a huge list of all the questions that you might face from a guest and how you should answer them. And you memorize these things. And you can have a little bit of horizontal movement on that, but you really got to stick with you got to stick with it. You got some latitude, but you need to stick with the line. In this case, they asked the actress, how is it all these characters are going to be here? And she said the world between worlds. Now, Culture, this is the first time that a Lucasfilm person has said this. And when we say a Lucasfilm person, Lucasfilm helps design all of the stories and the characters for Galaxy's Edge. So, Culture, what do you think about the idea that they're bringing the world between worlds into Batuu, and all of this is canon?
Well, I think that was kind of the direction that they were indicating they were headed anyway. Once we lost the great and powerful evil that was in Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, I think that they knew that they had to have a reset. So I'm not surprised. The mechanism, and this is what I thought Lauren was so brilliant talking about this. Is the mechanism is the world between worlds. It allows for them to pull people from different points in time and bring them into the story, and perhaps rescue, what the Star Wars sequels were by just pretending they don't happen and just moving forward from an agreed on period of time. I think that's accurate. And by teaching all these characters all these face actors, they are. They really are wanting to flesh this out in a way that fans will buy in. I think this all comes down to the fans. I think it's really been exposed recently. Great job by the people at That Park Place for writing up articles about this. But I mean, Puck Media's really talked about this extensively, and the limited pull that they have. Because you know that Matt Bellany's only got a small concentration of people that he's dealing with in a very small 19 blocks area of Hollywood, and not really going outside of that. I think he would be surprised, and many others would be, at how few Star Wars fans really there are anymore, and certainly none of the young people. I thought that was a great takeaway by you guys earlier today.
Well, one of the things that we're getting literally right now in terms of breaking news is this, Culture. And this kind of explains why they're invoking the world between worlds. It's not Apple TV. That's an ad. Let's see if we can get rid of that. If it'll let me get rid of it. Here we go. Come on. Go bye-bye, ad. We want you to go bye-bye. We want you to go bye-bye. Okay. Okay. There we go. From the Hollywood Reporter, James Hibbard. Literally just coming out. Star Wars Disney Plus streaming ratings reveal some surprising winners. Nielsen's Disney Data Plus reveals some unexpected favorites. This is coming out because Disney wants it to come out. And they're wanting it to come out, I believe, because they need you to know what they're up to. Let's see. Where is this at? Going back to the top 10 favorites, the rest of the top movies. Okay, here we go. This is so amazing. Going back to the top 10 favorites of 2025 in terms of streaming on Disney Plus, the rest of the list was almost entirely populated by movies. Not one title from the sequel trilogy made the list.
Wow.
Not one single sequel trilogy made the list. And I'm looking right now, where is the number one? Why do they do this? Why do we listen? They do this nonsense. I can't stand this. I don't want to be harsh, but Andor is listed. Star Wars Tales of the Underworld is listed. Man, these are not the top 10. Okay, here it is. Here's top 10. Thank you so much. Look at this. The top 10 most streamed Star Wars titles, May 4th, 2025. And I promise you, Nielsen would not put this out there unless Disney said we need this to go out there. Number 1, Andor. Number 2, Star Wars A New Hope. Now, by the way, why is Andor number 1? This is so easy. Okay, that doesn't mean Andor is more popular than Star Wars A New Hope. Andor has 18 episodes, and each one is what, an hour long?
Right.
Culture?
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
A New Hope is 2 hours long.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so Andor by default is going to win because it came out and it has 18 episodes. That's 18 hours of content. And we're judging this on how many hours people watched, okay? So Andor's technically number 1. But if we go by just the movies, which are all on sort of the same even playing field, A New Hope, Phantom Menace, Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones, Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, and guess what? Star Wars The Clone Wars with 132 episodes still doesn't beat the movies. There is no acolyte here. I know that's a shocker. And there is no Mandalorian. That's amazing. This culture, this is why the actress at Galaxy's Edge is saying World Between Worlds is why we're all here. And this is why when we said what we said on the pro show, that they're getting ready to throw the sequel trilogy away, look at this. It's George Lucas. It's George Lucas. It's George Lucas. That's what people want.
Yeah. It's what's most relatable to people too. There's no, and again, it does, some of it comes down to poor storytelling because of the insertion of non-story elements like today's politics and things like that. But yeah, no, this is more than a little bit telling. And as you've identified, one of the reasons Andor did get the hours is because it was a streaming show with lengthy episodes. It also has more than one season, but we'll just pretend that none of that's the case. Let's just look at that purely from Disney needs to make money kind of a standpoint. And right now, Star Wars is not making Disney money, not at all, not $1. The merchandise category is almost completely absent at this point.
Right. There's no way now that Disney can do anything other than go back to the original characters, because Star Wars A New Hope is it's number 1. Andor is winning by the amount of hours. Star Wars A New Hope is number 1. Phantom Menace is number 2. That means people are watching the original trilogy and they're watching it all the way through, but they're starting with A New Hope. That's getting the hours. They're doing the same thing with the prequels. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back is number 3. Revenge of the Sith is number 4, which means some people are skipping Attack of the Clones, and I don't blame them for it. Okay, so this is fascinating to me. This is really fascinating. Not a single sequel trilogy. Ron, when we talk about the actress playing Ahsoka making this declaration, some people are saying, "Oh, you guys, this is too much. This is not real. This is just an actress who is having fun and trying to come up on her own with, the World Between Worlds." Ron, I don't think that's the case. What do you think? Does Disney give significant training to the actors to tell them, here's what you say, here's what you don't say?
Well, I can tell for a fact that she did not come up with that on her own. That I know for sure. She was definitely instructed to use that as the reason for what is going on at Batu West, which is something that I kind of hope that they do at Batu East. For those that don't understand those terms,
it's got to be coming fast.
Yeah, Disneyland is west and Disney World is east. Anyway, look, there's a question of whether this story element is just set there for the parks or if this is going to be wider to help to try to bring Star Wars back. Is what's interesting to me, and this is my it's Star Wars Day, right? May the 4th be with you. Today's Star Wars Day. Tomorrow's Revenge of the 5th. And so you look on X, and I have to say that there's got to be a shift in what Disney is thinking in the direction that they want to go with Star Wars, because out of the woodwork, and maybe I'm the only one noticing this, but those of you that use X, my feed keeps getting filled with people that are trying to resurrect or save the Last Jedi
And the acolyte.
And the acolyte. Yeah, both of those things. And I'm like,
does this put it to bed, Ron? Is that have we put this to bed now with the actual top 10 coming out? And the other thing too, Ron, is did Disney want this to come out? Because Nielsen never posts this kind of stuff. Why KK leaves and suddenly Nielsen's like, this sure would be a good year to put out the top 10 for Star Wars for the first time ever.
This is Disney. They're trying to signal to fans. They're trying to say, hey, we want you to start paying attention to what's going on, because we are going to be trying to give you what we believe the fans actually want from Star Wars. And I've said it before, personally, if I see Gina Carano, and there's a reason why for me that this is a personal thing. If I see Gina Carano come back as Cara Dune, that will be a tremendous signal to me that Disney is in a place of apology, in a place of forgiveness. And just in the way that I have grown up, if you make a mistake, you own it and you admit to it and you change it and you overcome that, right? And Disney's never been like, especially under Iger's leadership, they just would never apologize for any of the mistakes that they definitely knew that they made, but would not apologize to fans. They probably won't outward apologize to fans, but bringing Gina Carano back would be a tremendous signal that we're not the company that we were 5-6 years ago. And that's what I'd like to see.
Here's how you know this is a huge problem. Mandalorian, first 2 seasons were so big they put Disney Plus on the map. Mm-hmm. And Mandalorian was #1 watched show. Mandalorian put them above The Office, which was at the time the #1 show in streaming. There is no Mandalorian. Despite how many episodes, the Mandalorian does not appear. There is no Boba Fett. There is no Obi-Wan. There is literally nothing because of what they did to Gina, what they did with the characters. And the only thing beyond the movies that's here is Andor that came out last year. So it's got viewership just because of that. And the Clone Wars cartoon. The entire rest of this is either George Lucas movies or Rogue One.
Well, Star Wars, A New Hope, that's the classic, and that's what people, here's the amazing thing about Star Wars, A New Hope, or just Star Wars, which is what it was titled when it first came out. It's a 1977 film that still holds up today in its original form. Even if George Lucas hadn't made the CGI changes to it, it would still hold up today. It's a great story. It's got all of the classic elements of the hero's journey. And it even has a satisfying ending that still makes you want to know what happens. And it's just, Star Wars is a classic example of some of the best storytelling. The original film and Empire Strikes Back, fantastic films. And it's kind of weird to think that Disney bought this franchise and they did what they did to it. It's the fact that Mando can walk around with little Grogu in the parks and just people aren't clamoring around to him, that just says a ton. And it would be, I think that we'd be in a very different situation had Gina not gotten fired and she had gotten the show that she was supposed to, Rangers of the New Republic, and we actually saw a version of her, this super strong woman, female character. Then it would have been hard to cast her, but to have her walking around with Mando in the parks, oh my gosh, I think that would have been amazing had that story continued, and I think people would love it. But people aren't loving Kylo Ren. they aren't loving those.
That's all over. MJ, big changes likely coming to Disney World based on this. I would suspect that the original Star Wars characters will be at Galaxy's Edge in Orlando very, very soon. What say you?
Well, sorry if I missed out on what you guys were saying, but how come they can't just do like a Star Wars weekend? This would have been the weekend for that, especially with all the mishaps happening over at the Magic Kingdom. Everyone could go to Hollywood Studios and enjoy the celebration of May the 4th be with you all day Saturday, all day Sunday, included in your park ticket. What would it take? Not much. A few cast members that are really good actors and the music, and put out some really, they have the food. I mean, I sent it to you guys. I think that is that Disneyland, or that was here in Disney World. I can't remember, but I know one of the parks is doing like Star Wars related food. Why couldn't they just do like a Star Wars weekend for the diehard fans? This would have been the perfect weekend for it, in my opinion.
You're saying the blue milk is just not up to par?
My gosh, no, absolutely not. That nauseating thing. I've asked a lot of questions on our backlog that we have. I'm like, has anyone tried this? What is this? And Ron, you did a video on the green milk, right? Or the green and the blue milk. You have it on your channel.
Yeah, we've done both. And it's,
but why couldn't they just do like Star Wars weekend, Ron, with the dancing Chewie? What is it?
All I will tell you, the pink milk is the best, but not Star Wars pink milk, just good old-fashioned strawberry quick.
My gosh. There you go. I don't get it.
Avoid the liquid fruity pebbles, which is the flavor of milk.
They would have gone up on their ticket sales. They could have done their merchant. They have the 3PO popcorn bucket, right? I've seen so much stuff on my Instagram feed. I mean, having the original characters from the original films, like Ron was saying, from the 70s, it's not brain surgery, Disney. You could just make it fun for the Star Wars fans. May the 4th weekend. Today's May the 4th. And what are they doing today? I don't even know what's happening today in the parks. And it's not fair what they've done to you, diehard Star Wars fans. My heart is weeping for you, because hearing all of this talk, about what Kathleen Kennedy has done and the brand being destroyed, and it just breaks my heart, because if they would have done that to Harry Potter, I would probably cry.
But remember, folks, if you're a Star Wars fan, no matter what they do, there's always a new hope.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.